Hey everyone! I love that your cat like meowed right as we went live, Braxton. That's adorable. Hey everyone! I like that Joel has a sign. I'm Rachel, and we're here to talk about the latest Star Trek Discovery episode called Mirrors. And I want, for once, remembered the name of the episode. Does everyone want to go around and introduce themselves real quick?
Hey crew, I'm Braxton.
I'm Joel.
I'm Marcelo. I'm a writer and a podcaster, and it's a pleasure to be here. I might not be here for long, but it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm Stanley. I'm none of those things, but it is also a pleasure for me to be here as well.
Hey, so I guess everyone want to say like what they thought about this latest episode.
My thought was, what have they done to the brain? Um, I thought this episode was also really heavy on drama. I didn't like, I don't particularly like drama. Like I like action and sci-fi. And so there were times this show when I was like, what am I watching? There was an episode. There was a scene with Maul and Locke that I had to rewatch 3 times just because like it just couldn't hold my interest. I thought it was so boring. Um, I did like a few things about the episodes. Like I did like Stamets, Tilly, and Adira kind of doing their thing and science and stuff out, but I really didn't like the Breen storylines. Like I thought that you know um like the story was so mundane to like bring in the Breen. Like I don't know, it seems like you should have done like a really special good story if you're like bringing in a species that we haven't seen much of. So I think this was like my least favorite episode of the season thus far.
And here's why he was wrong. No, I'm kidding. Uh, I did enjoy this episode. I think there was a lot going on, but I really liked the world building that we got. Uh, you know, Effectiveness aside, I think hopefully more is coming. I liked that we got some world building for the Breen. We got some for the Kelleran. Something that I've always found silly in Star Trek is how they always reference old Earth culture. Like I remember
Mm-hmm.
Saru in the Sphere episode mentions the not the Rosetta Stone, but Library at Alexandria. I loved that in this episode they used Kelleran to make those references, and like it's not only cool world building, but in a sci-fi setting, I've never understood why we don't get more of this. You can use anything that the audience couldn't possibly know to mean anything you want to tell in your story. So why always harken back to random Earth culture? So that was really cool. I liked that we got more Maul and Locke development, though I do agree it's a little boring. It's a little soap opera-y, but I do find them more compelling than Tarka, for example, from last season. Um, I still think Osira could have been a much better villain than these two had they built her out in the way that they're building these two out. And then also a little bit more with the Mirror Universe and what happened after Saru got freed was really cool to see. And, visuals always cool. I liked it.
This episode really, really played well for me because, unlike Braxton, I love space drama. I love learning more about Locke and Maul and learning about some of the species that we haven't necessarily seen a lot about in old Trek or in new Trek. So, a bunch of stuff in this episode worked for me because it was very, very, very high on the drama. And I think when Discovery doesn't piss me off, when it deals with drama, it really, really hits. So this is an episode that really, really hit for me on multiple levels.
I really like this episode too, though I think it might have. I think everyone here might have been handicapped slightly as the big reveals. I think we knew all of them almost. We knew if you were paying attention to the images they released, we knew that a Constitution class from the Mirror Universe was there, and we already heard about the Breen, and we already guessed those suits they had. I did earlier were the Breen, so if you weren't paying attention to everything, it probably hit even a little better.
I will
But-
admit I was wrong. I was hoping and theorized that he was Zinkethi because of that word drop a few episodes back. But
yeah,
happy to be wrong in this case.
they were in a lot of the recent Defiant comics, so I figured it wasn't them, the Zenkethi, because they
Yeah,
usually
also-
don't overlap that much. But
That is good theorizing, and I apparently need to pay more attention to what the comics are doing.
Yeah,
the
also-
Defiant ones are amazing.
I'm sure I know they're
can't
all
tell
good.
you
It's just expensive and time consuming to keep up with the comics.
It's time consuming, but geez, do you know
Also-
anyone who owns a comic shop? You can't get a discount, but not on new comics.
Like, I wish I lived closer to where that comic shop is.
I
was-
figured you weren't
I'm
actually
in South
near
Austin.
them,
That's
but-
as vague as I'll get with like
And he's
while we're
north.
on air. Technically Dave lives so north he doesn't technically live in Austin.
Austin area.
Yes, I did really enjoy this episode, but I also, as Braxton is like, oh, I don't really like drama. I love romance. So even if like it was like something where I was like, is this a cliche? Yeah, kind of. Am I eating it up? Yes. Like, give me the Bonnie and Clyde thing they have going on. I thought they like.
I've-
I thought they had. It was nice seeing them in the beginning of a romance and not just like, oh my god, we're so in love and we have everything going on, and there was a lot of things I agree with Stan. I love that they were doing references to his culture instead of Earth, and I do have questions about boiled cake. I was wondering if it's like how you boil bread to get bagels.
Well, bagels are good, so
Bagels are good. Apparently it's a real thing. That is good to know. That'll maybe that'll be we do a Star Trek cooking like again, and it's just boiled cakes. But yeah, I did really enjoy this episode, and I also really enjoyed how we got to do a little bit with the mirror universe without being like, oh my god, we're gonna go to the mirror universe and like see a bunch of people we recognize, but they're gonna be evil this time.
And isn't this sexy queerness evil?
Yes, that's. Oof.
we did get a Mirror Universe plushie, so that's brand new, never before seen.
Yeah, I meant to look that up to see if that's like a real world toy that they just picked or if that's something random.
It looked.
I was
I'm
thinking
not
that too, but I couldn't like. It wasn't sure where to look to figure that out. If they just went to some store in Canada and was just like, "Here's a toy."
It looks familiar. It looks like one of those shorts at the beginning of a Pixar movie. But I couldn't
Kinda.
place it.
Yeah.
So, Book had a personal log in this one. Now, does that mean later we can get a Grudge one? That's the question I have.
Yeah.
I love. We should just get an entire episode that's from Grudge's point of view.
Yes.
They had that comic.
That's true. If we had 22 episodes this season, we would definitely get a Grudge episode.
So Book is still technically a prisoner, right? Like he's just on loan for this assignment.
Yeah,
Like he's on work release.
It's vague.
it's vague, and I guess it's
I'm
like
curious if they just in the future incarceration includes personal logs,
yeah.
or if he just keeps a diary.
I think I've always assumed personal logs are like closer to like someone keeps a diary.
So didn't like 2 episodes ago someone like asked him what he was and he said like unaffiliated personnel or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mhm. You know, so I totally thought that like in the opening, like after he gave his personal log, when he was like, "Oh yeah, like my namesake, like I have to help his daughter." I was thinking like, oh, like you guys are like family, you know, like she's like your sister, you know, you do like.
So they keep
Going
telling us. That's something that's not working for me. Like the forced family connection. She's the closest thing to have that I have.
I do kind of love to be like, no, he was a shit dad. Like,
Yeah.
I work
He
with
did
your
say-
dad. We're family. I mean,
yeah.
I like
He did say a couple episodes ago that he was an observer basically. When somebody asked him how was he involved with Michael and all that stuff.
I did like Maul's reaction. I would have had the same if somebody came to me and was like, "I'm a friend of your dad's." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. My dad's a piece of shit. What do you want from me?"
I mean, I have a good relationship with my dad, and I'd be like, okay, cool. What's up? Like, have we met?
I don't know you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need to go get a better wig, so leave me alone. Your hair's terrible.
It's tough out there.
It was
no
worse than-
hairdressers. The
Your hair
flashbacks. Yeah.
Your hair looks fine to me, Stan.
No, your hair is great.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Maul's hair is terrible.
It's a wig, isn't it?
I hope so.
It's a shake and go from Party City. Yeah.
Well,
Listen, I love the show's hair and makeup department. That's the only one. It's not it,
Look,
and it got worse when it was
See,
longer.
I can't. I'm not saying
You're
it's the
right.
best wig in the world, but someone who's watched a lot of CW shows, I can't say it's the worst wig I've ever seen.
True.
You know what?
But
You know
No,
what?
the two worst wigs I've ever seen are Ewan McGregor and Emma, and Chris Pine in Bottle Shock. Both
Dude,
wigs are awful.
And it wasn't the most distracting thing on this episode, though. Like it was a tie between her hair and the butthole effect of that wormhole. And there are the balloons. to make
I still can't get the balloon.
Whenever I want them to appear, they don't. The timing is perfect.
I still can't get the balloons, and I'm using the
I-
stupid FaceTime camera.
I'm using a FaceTime camera. I'm using a Mac. I don't know.
I still look.
is it updated? Because I know some people suddenly got it. I don't know.
Maybe
Mine is-
maybe I do.
I
need
don't
to
have a
update
Mac.
it.
Mine is updated, so I don't know.
For the
Hey, maybe-
record, I love the movie Bottle Shock, except for Chris Pine's wig. That's for the record. I genuinely love that movie. Chris Pine has a bad wig in it, though.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie. I gotta check that movie out.
It's about wine. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, except it has a bad wig in it.
Oh, okay, cool. Then about wine.
Well, there's a
about
bar
it, I'll
scene.
take
We
it.
can work it into that.
Yeah.
So I have a question. What's the membrane on like the breed's face?
It seems to be because they said something about having to hold the shape, and so maybe like their form is able to change. So I think they're just like it's shifting.
I think the suit allows them to be
Yeah.
that liquid,
Mhm.
and it
And not have
less
to
effort.
worry about like
yeah
less
that's why
effort,
they're
which I
always
get.
in it.
So I
Which is-
assume the suit is kind of like Odo's bucket, I guess.
Oh, those bucket.
Because Locke has been played to look tired almost all the time when
Yeah.
he has a regular face.
I
So-
thought this week one of my favorites got shot to shit. I thought he was sick, and that was the whole reason that Maul and him were going after the artifact, but I guess not.
well, this did explain it. It's just he's tired, I think.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Which, millennial experience. I get it. Just always a little tired.
You know, I feel like that woman is a bad influence. You know, like he needs to like shake her. Like
And
he
their
has-
romance took place entirely in that shuttle bay at his work before. That's the part I was just like, that's the only place they met till he started killing people and they left. I think.
Yeah, dude, totally. You know, like he's like killing.
They did say something about like, oh, let's go on your ship again. So I assume they were going on the ship and doing.
On her ship that was
Stuff.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always assumed, because a lot of shows do this when they're like, we need backstory.
Yeah.
It's like we're not seeing every moment. We're just seeing big
Yeah.
moments so we can get the progression of the
But it was
relationship.
still all in the shuttle bay.
Yeah. They only have so many sets. They obviously did the Enterprise so they could use the Strange New World set.
I thought that's a great use of the AR wall, though. Like one of the
Mhm.
better uses, the caves from a few episodes from Janal, and this episode with the Breen. Like it's still obviously the AR wall, but they've had Disco and Strange New Worlds have both had some really rough uses of it. But the Breen background looked really cool. Lots of different
It was
roles
a
and personnel.
station, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah,
I
looked like a
think
mining station.
They also did a good job of using it so it's like in the background and then there's some stuff in the foreground so it's not as obvious that's the AR wall.
And I really liked how they differentiated the sort of 4 settings with color. Because, there was the disco bridge, was normal. And
Yeah.
then there was the green inside of the wormhole, the blue-green of the ISS Enterprise, and then sort of the orangey with the green highlights of the Breen station.
Actually, question: did anyone think Spock was going to come up again? Because I like after they mentioned him that one time.
That was
I
my
was
motivation.
praying not, but I gotta go, guys. It's been a pleasure to spend a
Well,
modicum
thanks
of
for
my birthday
coming
with you
by.
guys.
Happy birthday, Marcelo.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you, guys, and have an awesome rest of the stream.
I thought it was the right amount. It would have been
Yeah.
weird for her not to mention Spock
Yeah.
looking back there, but like
I
I am personally of the opinion that too many newer Star Trek projects are shoehorning in Spock.
yeah.
The
See,
Resurgence game, books, etc. This to me was the right amount.
See, this is like what she's bringing up was I thought they were going to bring up the fact he's the chancellor that like was killed.
Yeah, they didn't do that, and
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. They didn't do that.
it was pretty organic. I think just he
Yeah.
used to work there on the other version of this ship.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys remember? Do the Breeds like costumes? Do the Breeds like uniforms, wardrobe? Does it look like it has in the past to you guys? I don't remember.
It's updated.
It's
It
updated, but it's close. It's close enough where it looks like
They
yeah,
had the
that
green.
Yeah,
It's
it
like-
looked very this is 800 years later
Yeah.
fashion.
like it
Yeah,
looks
previously
close enough to
it
what you
looked
see
like
on Deep
Return of the
Space Nine.
Jedi, but
Yeah.
it looks less that now.
And I get that because maybe they're like maybe we should make it look less like Return of the Jedi.
I kind of wanted them
And-
to be exactly the same and not say anything,
Yes.
but they never do that.
And it's also some of the because like the last time we saw the Breen like Deep Space Nine.
hmm
So like it might be like some of those uniforms. I wonder how well they look in HD. Like if you put the same exact thing on like the 4K cameras Discovery is using, and they might look odd.
I imagine they would.
I really enjoyed Rayner in this episode. I was like there's growth. Good.
He did the right thing. He told Michael
Yeah.
not to leave the ship because it's
Yeah.
no, you shouldn't do that if you're captain. So
I think I said of my reaction during it, I was like, oh, a reasonable thing for him for a first officer to say to his captain.
Yes.
That he wants to protect her.
Yeah.
Michael totally leaves the ship too much.
especially into the wormhole.
hmm
I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Into the interdimensional butthole with that shuttle
Yeah.
suppository.
which they later had to expand because it wasn't big enough for the big thing
Yeah.
they pushed through. But
oh god, now that just made me think of weirder jokes.
but
Why I'm here.
I haven't watched anyone else's reviews yet, but I imagine the ending has a lot of Little Glass Vial singing in a bunch of those. So
Oh my god, it's not every day I hear someone reference the Jedi
I haven't watched
opera.
Jesse's yet. I know she did that. I haven't watched it, but You will.
I don't know why my brain didn't go there, but it didn't.
because it's a little, it's either that or it's
it is a
booze.
little glass vial. You're not wrong.
It could be booze. You'll
Oh,
have to take-
Rayner drank
that's
booze
the lesson.
tonight?
No, she didn't. But at the end, inside the clue, there's a little thing, a little glass vial full of liquid. It's scotch. No, it's probably not. But it could be.
If all of this ends up back on Earth, I'm going to be so pissed.
Because the progenitor tech is under a giant W.
It's the
That's where this is going.
Westgate Center in Glendale, Arizona. It's underneath an old shopping mall.
I
Preserved.
just remember
for-
like National Treasure 2. It turns out something like under like Mount Rushmore, and you're like, what? Like
Well, if it's Mount
Earth
Rushmore,
is a
we
cheap
can get-
filming location.
True.
The tree they hit in season 3. What was I also like I liked seeing Rayner like finally like really opening up with the crew.
Yeah.
We were joking about boiled cake, but I really liked that like she makes a joke, and I assumed he was gonna be like, "Don't be a smartass back," but he was like, "Don't knock it till you try it." And I was like, I love that little thing. He's like, "I promise it's good."
Stamets trying to re-say the thing Rayner said to him, and then going,
Yeah.
"Oh, it sounded better when you did." That was pretty good.
I also really like Stamets' like moment with Adira, like assuring them like that was not your fault. Like that could have happened to anyone. And it was also
You go
sneaky
to a
as
strange
hell.
planet, you get a bug, it happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It happens to literally every Star Trek character.
Samus also had a good scene at the end when Rayner was like, like why hexagonal, and Samus was like, "Don't worry about it, it'll work."
Yeah, that was good techno battle. It's just like, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
It's hexagonal.
Yeah. They should have had a moment when the Enterprise came out of the wormhole and they're like, look at that Constitution class ship.
And also Reese didn't get to escort it back. The big Connie fan didn't. It was Detmer and Owo, who
Yeah.
I'm sure like it,
Yeah. I'm sure they appreciate it. I was just
but
imagining that as a
poor
little
Reese
date
is
for the
watching it go away. Just
bye.
yeah. So
I'm
sad.
imagining that as like a little date for Owo and Detmer. Just like off.
So that is the ISS Enterprise.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm,
Meaning
mm.
it's the Mirror Universe Enterprise.
So where are they going to take it again? Like
They think they're
space
taking like
dock?
the headquarters.
Museum, I guess, probably whatever.
Yeah.
They got to
Mm,
rebuild those
mm,
ship museums because
hmm I mean, is
Yeah.
it like 1,000 years old or something?
I mean, also, how many ships do they have? Like, they
it
lost
is from
a lot of ships
1,000
in
years
the
ago,
burn.
but I don't know if they jumped through time to get there because it's in a weird interdimensional space. So who knows?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did say like they did say it's old because at one point she's doing something.
Yeah.
He's like, "This ship is old. Don't do that."
So it's like, so they like destroyed it. So like at the end, like it like imploded, and
The
it's like,
wormhole, yeah.
yeah.
The wormhole. Yeah, I don't think they can get back in the wormhole.
Mm, mm. Is a
Which is,
wormhole a good thing or a bad thing?
I think
It
it
worked
depends.
for. It was a good place to hide stuff, and then
It was a good place to hide stuff.
There's a joke that I'm not going to make.
tell the
It should-
salon.
but it's right there. And
I
if you
That
if you join
wormhole is begging for a lot. It's true.
you join the
Let's go
salon
on.
at 6:30 Pacific tonight, you will. I am sure there will be many interdimensional butthole jokes.
I'm.
Hexagons.
That's fair.
I mean,
Worry.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like a wormhole like is very convenient, but there's like lots of hazards associated with it.
I
There
mean,
is
the
a-
only
yeah.
wormhole that seems to be anywhere near somewhat safe is the Bajoran wormhole, and that's still sometimes the Dominions on the other side. Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. There's been a lot less I feel like of Detmer and Owo in this season in general. I wonder if like one of them or both of them were like filming something else during this season.
They
I
got
saw-
very little to do this season.
Yeah, they've not been in a lot of episodes because we had that new person Galen on the
Yeah.
bridge today. Were they new? I don't recognize them, but
I
they
The-
haven't been there very long.
Khan, the this week's Detmer and Owo were there in the first episode, actually,
Okay.
Mhm.
for part of it.
I didn't note their name.
Gallo and
Gallo was today.
Yeah.
Elia. If only all of human knowledge were at our fingertips. I'll look it up.
I wrote down Gallo, and then I would like to bring up that at the end, Michael is able to communicate with a tractor beam to Rayner through her original specialty of xenoanthropology, of studying his
This
culture
is
and
true.
using it,
Yes.
which is an amazing callback to the very first thing we learn about Michael.
That's
So I was
true.
very excited about that.
That's something. One of my favorite things about this season is that the captain gets to be the badass captain, but also still a scientist. That's something like
Mhm.
they forgot 7 of 9 as a scientist in Star Trek Picard. I love what she gets to do there, but
Yeah.
she's also a badass scientist. Other captains, it just they sort of forgot that Janeway was a scientist halfway through the show, and so I love seeing her use the xenoanthropology throughout the season. It's such a nice touch.
Yeah, I agree. It's like just so different from even like what we've got to see her do in past seasons. And I do like we brought this up, but I love like her using like Rayner's culture specifically, where it's like, no, I'm doing my duty and I'm learning about this new culture because there's someone from that culture on the ship now. And I love that it was also her showing that she trusts him because he's the only one that could possibly get that reference. No
Yeah.
one else would have.
For sure.
Um, I also love. I can't remember what he offered them, but Rayner being like, I think jokingly bribing the crew, like, I'll give you this thing if you someone solves it, they all
Citrus
solve it, and
mash.
he's like, yeah, maybe it's boiled cake. I don't know.
Well, that was different. There was also.
Yeah,
Okay, I took too many
citrus
notes.
mash sounds like a mashed potato, but like a lemon.
I took it to be alcoholic.
Oh, a casket of citrus mash. That's what I guess. A casket would probably imply a liquid. I just heard the word mash and
Yeah, mash whiskey, right?
Citrus mash all around. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I also took it to be alcohol. It's also because the first time I watched it, I wasn't able to have subtitles, so I wasn't quite sure I'd heard it correctly.
Yeah. Well, I prepared. I watched it 3 times. So.
I ended up watching it twice, but then the second time I was watching it, I was having to do other things too. So like, I had subtitles, but then other things were distracting me. How dare my day job that I need for money require things from me?
I had the day off, so that's all I did.
Nice.
Starting it as soon as it dropped. Yeah.
Ooh. Said it was moonshine. Damn.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So, what did we think about Maul and her dad's Big Rock Candy Mountain fantasy colony?
Do we think that's real? I guess.
And also, wouldn't the actual closest thing to that be the Federation?
I feel like yes, except the fact that it would have been
Way far away, I guess.
but because of like everything going on with the burn, the Federation wasn't like the Federation how we know and love it.
True, it's recent, but
Yes. Father, I was thinking too, like something like citrusy and sweet. And then now imagining like a lemon drop, like the drink.
it could be in that vial. Who knows?
Yeah. That's the citrus thing. They all have to split that whatever's in that vial.
That's the real lesson learned today.
Sour mix gives
Nitrocitrate
me
comes in a little
heartburn.
glass vial. God, I was not planning on not thinking about Repo's Genetic Opera. I also Linus can play the piano well.
That was amazing.
That was
It's Linus's piano bar now. Red just works there.
I'm
I
so
love
on board with Linus's piano bar.
I love him. I want more of it. I'm so glad we're getting little touches of Linus this season. It's great.
I agree. I love it. Like Linus is one of those characters. Linus is like on board with me with Moopsies. Everyone's so on board with Linus. Actually, I want a Linus plushie.
There we go. Paramount.
Yeah, this is true. Um, I guess what do we think? I like that Tilly is the one who noticed that something's up with Culber. And I also love the thing where he was like, I don't want to talk to Paul about it because Paul's gonna go all science on it. Basically.
So what?
I
like,
thought maybe Tilly should have been like, maybe you should try. She sort of did, but
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Like, does Culber I mean, does he just like simply remember just like a little bit of a weird experience for like some hours, or does he like have like the memories of the symbiont?
I
And, like, he's,
think I
like,
got the
dealing with all that.
implication he has the memories
of what happened, but not
of what
past.
happened. I don't think he has like the symbiont's memories forever,
Oh, good.
but just the memories of that moment.
Yeah, if the symbiote was remembering something in the moment, he probably knows that.
Yeah.
Like, this
Yeah, that
reminds
makes
me of blah. But
Okay. Okay.
But he probably just has like a flash of that memory, not like the detail.
Mm.
Um, and I
I
kind of
found
like,
it.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to derail, but
Oh, no worries.
it took some digging, and I finally found it thanks to our friends at Memory Alpha. So it's Naya is the science officer, I believe, a lieutenant, and then it's Lieutenant Asha, who is at the helm when it's not Detmer.
Okay. Cool.
Or apparently there's someone else there named Haj. No, that's old uniform, so that was a different time. Yeah. So
I genuinely sometimes I'm like, God bless Memory Alpha, because I could never keep up with any of this.
yes.
I had to look up who was the Connie fan. I was like, I thought it was Reese. It was, but I didn't remember for sure.
I could never keep up, and I'm like known for having a good memory in like my friendship circles, and I'm still like, I can't keep track of all the like any show with other helm officers.
It's only 900 episodes. Come on.
It's almost 1,000 now, right?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I forget. It says on every one on Memory Alpha, but they were counting the very short tracks too. Last I heard, I don't know.
I don't know. Asha did kind of look like Tilly's old friend.
But she, is that Meg?
Is it Meg? I thought it was
Asha looks like Meg.
May.
Oh, May.
I think.
May. Okay, yeah. May.
Okay, we recently passed 900. It's the. I guess it will like. It would be interesting to see what the 1,000th episode of Star Trek is, but I don't know math well enough to try and guess that. Or, we also don't know what episodes are coming out when for some of them.
You know, I totally don't want Tilly to leave the ship. Like, I'm really enjoying her, you know, being back with the crew. Like, she's got such great chemistry with them.
Yeah, I'm enjoying having her, but I assume that she hasn't just like abandoned her career at the academy. There's just like she's like on loan, like Book is.
Or maybe she'll just be sick of encountering Cardassian voles all the time on the Discovery and want to go back to school.
It was weird having an episode that like there's just no Saruin.
He's stuck on the Discovery sets. He couldn't go over to the Strange New World sets with they regress.
So going back for a second. I agree. It was a little odd that there wasn't a moment for Reese to note.
Yeah.
The Constitution class. It should have been. I wish it was more, but I have it on in the background. It happens to be that scene. He does have a blink and you miss it moment. Massive grin on his face.
Okay, no lines, but okay.
Yeah, like it would have been cool if he was like, "Is that a Connie?" And like him and Rayner have a look, certainly. But he had a very cute, massive smile on his face for a split second.
The way you describe it, it's just like he gets a moment with no sound. It's like when they talk to Tom Paris's father, and Tom Paris just gets a look, and he doesn't get to say anything.
Sometimes that's all you get.
Yeah, yeah, I think this episode, I thought like lots of it was really fun, and it was fun getting to see like the Strange New World sets with like a darker like lighting scheme going on.
Yeah, it was really nice seeing all the because we had the hallway and we had obviously sick bay, and it was really nice. Now, there's not a hollow emitter on the regular Strange New Worlds Enterprise sick bay, right? Because that was kind of. I mean, it's the mirror universe. You can do whatever you want. I know, but it's just like. But just for that, I don't know. It seemed underwhelming. Just other than I just desperately wanted the EMH to come up and say, "What is the nature of your Mexican standoff?" But alas,
that was. I would love that. I don't. Yeah, I'm sure they're avoiding that with because of the fact he's in Prodigy.
It wouldn't make sense, but I thought it was
it was odd that like apparently Stamets' eyesight is good enough that he can read the
That's the ISS Enterprise.
Yeah, like why didn't he just say, "Is that the Enterprise?" Like just
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise. Would it?
Yeah. Oh, I guess he would if he could tell it was the Enterprise. If he knows history well enough, he knows that Enterprise does not exist anymore.
But maybe also on the view screen, like that we're not seeing, there's
Hmm.
like multiple
Maybe there's
like images of what it is, and like
maybe the view
some
screen
are
could read
zoomed in.
text and it's like popping it up for them.
Yeah, this is
Kind of
definitely
makes sense.
the nitpickiest of nitpick, but yeah, it could have been.
Could have been and now I'm remembering in the season 1 Discovery finale when they're first having that Enterprise show up, you first get this link of it because it's the code is popping up here and you start seeing the registry number pop up before they actually show the Enterprise.
Yeah. And it's happened before, like in yesterday's Enterprise, Tasha Yar, when she reads off NCC 1701, like by then she should know it's Enterprise.
Yeah.
But she continues to say C Enterprise. It was like choices were made.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it makes sense because I assume they're just assuming that not everyone is nerds like us who just know the registry of the Enterprise by heart.
Yeah, it's for the casuals.
But I mean, them not recognizing it on Discovery made sense. But like Tasha, like girl, you're on the ship.
Yeah. I always remember that because my friend was watching live and she was like, "What does that mean?" And I'm starting to jump. I'm just like, "Yeah." And my friend was like, "What is my nerdy friend doing?" This is correct. Joel is very funny.
Yes.
But if you want to cheat, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote down half of these when I was watching Discovery in the Tex-Trek Discord. I take my notes live. So.
Yes. That's what I do as well.
Not all spontaneous.
Yeah, I'm sure some of mine are just stuff I memorized earlier. Yes, the casuals.
I wrote interdimensional butthole a few times. They show that graphic that puckering so many times in this episode, and this episode was co-written by a homosexual. So I wonder if it's on purpose. If I
can't believe it's not. That was
he was a strike captain, so I've been following him on Twitter for a while.
Yeah,
I hope I get to.
It looked like that, but it also looked like anytime you see like a TV movie where walk into the light, it's one one of those things. It looked like that too.
They just want to broaden the horizons of some fan fiction. It's great.
I revealed too much behind the curtain. Sorry, Green Eye.
What else? I'm trying to I thought Burnham and Book, I liked their moment that they have a nice moment, but it was I could see this leading to reconciliation, but it wasn't oh, woe is me drama moment either.
It was kind of weird too. Oh, we were happy. It's
yeah.
Did you guys forget? I mean, the past part wasn't the problem. It was the present, right? And then is it
even after a relationship, you need a reminder of yourself?
Yeah, I suppose.
Sometimes.
But it didn't end badly. They weren't throwing things at each other, and she didn't, evict grudge.
Sometimes that's worse. Where it's that it's just kind of something fizzles away. There's not a big cathartic. I can't say the word. There's no catharsis at the end of the relationship to get all those emotions out.
I'm so sorry you teamed up with what's his name, and
fizzling away. I need to do so now. I've got 2 dogs now to.
Oh,
2 dogs.
Oh my gosh, you got 2
dog sitting for one, and then I have my 10 days. I gotta walk them before the salon. Shameless plug at Salon Trek 6:30.
Yes, everyone go watch the salon. And if you think we're 12, that's where you should actually
get
go.
ready. Problematic gay alerts. See you all in 2045. No, 20, 50, 55 minute. God, 50 minute. I cannot. 6:30 Pacific. at Salon Trek here on YouTube. Love me as always. See you all there.
See you there in a bit.
So,
Right.
Michael was really hesitant to talk about what she saw. Is that like some temporal thing too? She wasn't supposed to tell Book about what she saw?
I
Because at
don't
first
know
she
if
was
it
just
was.
like, she made the little
I
motion,
think
like
a
keep her
little bit
zipped.
it was temporal.
But I know she
That
didn't want to mention
season
Book 2, but she could have
probably.
brought up other stuff.
I think it was like. I think she was using the excuse of it being temporal because she didn't want to talk to Book about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember when you were shirtless. It was great.
See, it's like Sohail about how like the age of maturity we're allowed to be in discussions. Is that what it needs to be a gradual on?
Oh no, I've already violated the temporal wormhole accords.
I I was like I can make younger jokes, but I'm just being nice on Father's channel.
I thought I did pretty well, really. But
You're doing fine. Because you're not wrong. It looks like a butthole. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's true.
Okay. This is fair about Sohail's mom being there.
There's a lot to talk about DS9 because that wormhole was so. I don't know. It doesn't look as weird just because maybe I'm used to it for 7 years.
That wormhole does not look like this one. Like
it's more
the
majestic.
wormhole looks
That's
really
for sure.
good. Like at the end, like when when Discovery got really close to it, and they had the tractor beam and they were like pulling the ISS Enterprise through, like
I would say it did
those
look really
shots
cool when
looked
they
amazing.
expand it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I did. Do we? Okay, I genuinely was. Everyone worried that we were about to watch Locke die and Maul lose her mind.
I wasn't really worried about that.
Yeah.
I thought that Locke might be in danger of dying. I thought that he might. I mean, he still might be because
he
he's
still
got
might be.
that,
They didn't
like,
They
go to
pushed
any
it
medical
off.
stuff. Yeah.
It's bad,
Yeah.
but
And now he's not going to Discovery to get medical help. I mean, yeah. I mean, he might not be living that much longer. We'll see.
we'll have
I like. So my thought was if they could lock that early, then the thing would be like Maul's like extra determined because she's so mad.
It could
So-
separate them though.
So why
She
doesn't
could
he have the?
consent for him to get help, and then go off on her own.
This is
So why does Locke, like, why does he have just like regular, like, kind of like a green skin? Why doesn't he have that membrane on his face?
They do mention this. Well, when you watch it 3 times, they have 2 faces. They can do both. So the physical one takes effort though.
yeah. So
And
I think
that's
it's
why
only
he
when
looks
he's in
tired.
a more. I was just gonna use Odo terms because that's the
Yeah.
easiest for me. When he's in a more changeling like state, it's that membrane. You see that membrane. I don't even know if it's a membrane. It's like more of like a glow.
I
See
also
through too. You can
hated,
see inside.
like, I hated when like when he like showed him, when he showed her his face, and he had like this like sad face on it, like the sad look on his eye, like like he was ugly or something. Like, oh, like what would she think? What will she think of me? Like, it just felt kind of weird to me. And I was like, well, why would you feel like that? Because like everybody like around you like looks like you do.
Well,
So,
no
like,
one looks at their faces though. Like he's being told like you should keep that locked away.
Yeah, we don't know anything about
Like-
because they don't refrigerate the ships.
I mean,
they
I
wear the
would-
suits.
on these women, most women have leg hair and we're still made to feel ashamed of it. So, like, see,
do
that makes
most women
complete
have
sense
leg
to
hair?
me. What?
Do most women have leg hair?
I
Like,
mean,
I mean,
all
hairy
women do.
legs. I mean, don't
If you're
women
very,
generally,
very
like,
blonde,
paint
you might
them?
not be able to see it, but that's it.
Because I feel like it's rare to see a woman out with hairy legs.
yeah, because they shave
Yeah,
them.
they shave. Peer pressure from society.
Women just have.
Yeah,
have
so we
hair, but,
have
like, they
hair,
do stuff.
but
okay.
society has made us feel ashamed of the fact we have hair on our legs, so we shave them. So it doesn't, like, it totally tracks to me that something that's completely natural someone would feel shame about.
Right. Rachel, you should start a trend. You should like not shave your legs. There's someone walking around with hairy legs.
There are issues, like, there are societal issue. Like getting past that in my brain would be real hard.
And if you wear leggings, that might hurt.
I do wear leggings sometimes. Not right now because it's summer, but
Mm,
um,
mm,
do we like why they have to feel? They said it's like hard to hold it. I think it's part of the reason.
mm. Okay.
And not all Breen are worthy to behold their beauty. Yeah, because it seemed to be like he was part of the royalty gene, so maybe not all Breen look like him.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah. His uncle or whatever, Locke's uncle said, yeah, he has the Yod thought genetics, which I assume is just sort of like their royal line and not the actual mutations that cause that. But
Well, he
it's a very
likely can't.
Lovecraftian sounding name, Yod thought. But
Mm. Well, I don't think that he's very much of a warrior because, like, 2 people kicked his ass tonight. Like, hmm
I don't like. I don't know. He seems very destructive if someone's putting Maul in danger.
But I don't
Mm.
think have we ever heard of Breen are super strong like the Vulcans, Klingons, that sort of thing. Don't think we heard
No.
that ever.
Mm.
It's just they're willing to go there and they have the tech. That was like
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, right?
And all the people who are wearing the costumes tonight, they all look kind of skinny to me. Like, I feel like you didn't see like very many like diverse body types.
In Breen, no, I don't think so. I wonder if they probably only made like one type of costume and had to
Yeah.
hire accordingly.
I wanted
Most
to see some
likely.
fat.
Yeah.
I wanted to
That
see
would be
some
funny.
fat brain.
I would say no, just do Sohail talking about leg hair. I would say it is different for different people. Definitely, I am very pale and have dark hair. There we go. That's my
So your legs would look very hairy.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um.
That's funny to say.
Yeah. Um. What? I'm trying to. I think what? Like I'm trying to make sure we're not missing like anything big from this episode.
Was there anything more about Maul and Locke's backstory? I don't know if we fully covered that, but because that's a lot we got there.
I did like genuinely think they were really cute in a lot of scenes. I thought it was sweet. Do I know like they're like evil people who are causing our main characters harm? Yes, but like also, look, they're in love. It's cute.
Hey, somebody needs to kill them immediately.
Oh, hopefully not the breed. I don't want them to win. They seem mean.
Mm, mm.
With their Araga.
Yeah. And which I'm getting is some kind of bounty they put on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume it's just like not a specific bounty, but if you're declared that, then everyone knows if they do that, they'll get something. And it might cross factions too. That's what I was thinking. It's not just their faction. It's probably a Breen thing at that point.
Now I'm imagining it like when you're like kicked out of the Amish church. I don't think they're gonna come after you if you're kicked out of the Amish church. For the record, I don't think they're gonna like.
But it's worse than shunning, though.
Yes.
You know, Cleveland Booker. I don't know how great of a guy could he have been. Could he have been to like abandon his daughter like that? You know, like I mean, I feel like if she had a good relationship with her father, she might not be a criminal on the run stealing things.
To be fair, she was in a like camp for a while, so I don't know, like a prison camp for one point. So I don't know, like, incarceration changes people in a way that like I don't know how much that could be helped. Yes, it does sound like a big cultural shame. So maybe it's closer to when Worf was like outside, like during Deep Space Nine, and Worf was like shamed, or was that during TNG?
What was he shamed for?
Not helping Klingons with stuff.
Hmm.
I feel like he maybe was. Oh, I think it happens to him twice. That's the problem.
Well, he's got to pretend his dad helped the Romulans, and then
Yeah, he has to help
there's all that
Burnham,
stuff.
and then that like shames him, and then he's also shamed during Deep Space Nine because he doesn't just start attacking Cardassia for no reason like the Klingons want to.
Mm, mm.
Um,
Cardassians.
I don't
Cardassians
know.
are great. I feel like
Yeah,
Cardassians need to make a big return to Star Trek.
We
I
had
agree.
their
I would love to
vole
see more
today. That was it.
Cardassians.
Yeah.
Mm, mm. Didn't
Um,
Deep Space Nine have a infestation of Cardassian voles?
yes,
Yes,
Mm, mm.
I did see someone
always.
posted a picture of that on Twitter. It's probably Yerk, but
I always forget what they're supposed to look like.
they look like
I feel like they,
weird gremlins from an '80s movie. Not the movie Gremlins, but like one of the knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I
They were
remember them
hairless
looking
puppets, kind of thing.
kind
Yeah,
of pink and gross, you know.
Pinkish orange, something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah. I wonder if we'll get more like perspective on like something with her father that's like, oh, this puts a new spin on it, but it's still like being a present father is good though.
It's kind of in the middle now because we don't know if there was a reason
Yeah,
he did that,
yeah.
but where
Hey,
he
maybe we'll learn he had one of these bounty things on his head, and that would have like gotten her killed.
possibly. But right now, yeah, it doesn't seem very good for his family. And Book's like, he was a great boss, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
I mean, people can be like good people to other people, and then like shitty to other people. Like
And
that's
where they
how.
were could have got worse because she wasn't a
Sure.
Yeah.
miner, and then she's forced into mining,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds like that's what killed her when Maul was
Yeah.
14. I assume so.
So is she one of I forget what books people are called.
Uh, they're from Quajon.
Quajon, yeah.
Quajon. No, I think she's human, right?
She's not. She's not from Quajon. And
Yeah.
Oh,
neither
she's
was
not
the
from
other
Quajon.
Cleveland
Okay.
Booker. That not that we know
No,
of.
because they specifically say the reason he has a human sounding name is
Mm-hmm.
that it came from Cleveland Booker.
Okay.
Like because someone asked, like, wait, he's not human, and they're like, no, it's the name, right? It's like,
He's got the glowy thing, but not all the
yeah.
time.
Okay.
And there was
I think
very little personal transporting in this episode for once. I'm not sure if they were saving money. Tilly beams to the bridge once,
so
and
many
then
effects.
that was it.
Hi, RC.
Do you not like the personal transporter?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Like I think it was overused in like that action scene where Book was Nightcrawler and just teleported all around when it was on Trill. And
Yeah.
I it was fine for one scene, but if this is going to be an every time thing, I don't know about that.
Did they transport to the ready room? Oh, not the ready.
In past episodes, but I don't
Yeah.
think
Did they just
Stamets
walk this
walks
time?
with Adira.
Yeah.
I think they were in the ready room doing science. They walk, and then Tilly beams in right at the end.
God,
And then I
now
don't think they
maybe.
could use the transporter in the
Do
wormhole
you
because
think
there was
there's
all
going
that
to be a
interference.
thing to encourage people like you actually have to walk a little more and not just transport everywhere?
That'd be
Because like
hilarious.
they're like you're like people just need to walk. We need to move more.
Their hollow thing pops up and it says, "You need more steps. Personal
Yeah.
transporting is disabled within the ship.
Yes,
10,000
ours is
steps, and
exactly.
you earn
Everyone
personal
is
transport."
surprisingly in shape for a universe that has personal transporters. They're like, please. It's like how I get exercise. Is I just like when I park at Target, I just kind of park in the back and then I walk.
It's
I don't
easier
do
to
that at
find a
night.
spot too.
And it's easy to just find a spot.
You know, I I wonder if you can make the replicator make you food
With less
that
calories.
like has less
Yeah, I
calories. You
think.
know.
Well, I think you
I think
definitely
so.
can because you have that one time Deanna Troy is like, "Don't make me healthy chocolate,"
Mm,
and they're like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I don't. I just want chocolate ice cream."
Real chocolate. I've certainly read other
Mm-hmm.
science fiction books that have basically replicators, and they would just dole out your daily calories
Yeah.
and would just make everything less fattening or whatever, less sugar
Mhm.
later on in the day.
But the thing is, sometimes I want that sugar.
Yeah. But do they have something else? Do they have synth sugar? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's probably not as good, just like synthahol.
My mind, this is literally just because I read a book about food by someone who happens to be diabetic, and I was like, I wonder if they've like solved diabetes so you don't have to have people who just like need sugar all the time to make sure they're not going to die.
Well, Dr. McCoy could give you a pill and you could grow a new organ, so I'm sure you get a new
Oh,
pancreas.
new blue pancreas. There you go. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would really be
Yeah.
helpful for diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
Since sugar is what powers all synths in the 31st century.
So what the synth ban was really a big diet ban
Yeah.
around Picard's time.
Well, apparently there were life-saving things you could get from synthetic brains that they're like, guess it's gone.
Sorry, Riker. Sorry, Troy.
Sorry, Thad. Like, I think that's probably like right. Like,
Yeah, because Cisco's food is way better.
yeah, like
Everyone says that in DS9. Yeah.
and I feel like people there seems to be a similar thought about Pike's food.
It's probably that's probably even worse because it's not as advanced as DS9
Yeah.
time. Although the good stuff is those food cubes, which they don't show anymore because they're just too tasty. But
Oh wow, there's food cubes.
in TOS,
In
they're
TOS,
always eating the
yeah.
food cubes.
I'm imagining replicator food is like when you go and you get like, I'm gonna eat like whole grain pasta, and you're like, why? Yes, we have. I really enjoyed the Breen redesign. I think they look like a good update.
Yeah, and the liquid see-through form. Yeah, that's obviously they're not going to show that a lot because it looks expensive, but it looks great.
That effect looks pricey.
It does.
That effect is
But no
really good.
personal transporting. We're showing the Breen today.
Yeah, that's actually. I think you figured out what it was, Joel.
No Owa and Detmer. We're showing the Breen today.
Yeah. Keys. Yeah, I think Cisco has his own veggies at point. Yeah, no, just stealing costumes from Return of the Jedi. I think now it's probably like we need to make like, whereas I feel like in the past it was like we need to look more like Star Wars, and now it's probably like we should look less like Star Wars.
Yeah. Although it kind of looks like Star Wars anyway because of how many helmeted people are on the Breen station.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't get very many hordes of helmet, cannon fodder
fair,
stuff.
It's not fair that like no other sci-fi can have helmeted people just because
Yeah,
Star
I'm not
Wars
saying
has
it's
so
bad,
many.
but it just looks more like Star Wars.
Yeah.
'Cause they all have buckets
It's
on them.
when they invented the Breen, they didn't imagine the idea that there'd be an entire very popular Star Wars show about a character who's constantly helmeted.
Which show was that?
The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. You said
Flash,
Green.
kind of Boba Fett.
Okay.
Oh, it's like the thing where it's like it's Star Warsy. I'm like, other people can have a desert planet.
Yeah. Although we could, do the Star Wars thing and actually have, the plushy toys where they have the cute things on the show.
Oh, I would love for them marketing wise to be more like Star Wars, as in have a marketing.
But instead,
department.
it's like no, the people on screen they have to look the same. That's how
Yeah.
you make the money.
That would be funny if there's just a redesigned Breen walking around with Disney. So RC, you weren't here before, but one of the things I asked for is I now would like a Linus plush. Am I asking for too much now? Probably.
With a little plushy piano.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Now you're asking too much.
Am I gonna have to make a Linus thing like I had to make Murph?
Maybe.
That seems harder because I don't think there were any like promo images of Linus.
You'd be able to get a screen cap off the web.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be smaller. You may not want to blow it up as much, but
yeah.
But if you had a smaller Murph, or not Murph, but Linus.
Yeah. What? I think there's anything else big we didn't
Well, we did get the
talk about.
reveal that people from the Mirror Universe, led by Mirror Action Saru,
Yeah.
made it over and
Yeah.
settled. They achieved their goal. Some even became Starfleet officers
It
and help
the
hide clues.
and I um so I guess when this happened, were they like I was trying to think if it's a generational ship because she's alive during the TNG era and able to take place in an active thing to like go hide stuff.
There might have been a small time jump.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I wonder if there's a time jump. It's a generational crew thing. I wonder if there was a thing and I do wonder, was there ever a time that there was like two different versions of the same person on Earth, or like around in the universe?
That's possible. But it could be
Um,
generational because they really had packed that ship. If everyone's sleeping in the transporter room like that,
that's true.
I mean, I'm sure you could fill it with a lot of refugees, but I don't know how long they had.
Yeah. Yes, I did like. I like forgot about that, but yeah, I liked how they used some of the old music cues. Um, apparently, Fathery has a huge theory for tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
so stay tuned for that.
Oh
I don't
shit!
even know what that is.
Oh shit! I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm like, color me intrigued.
They paid for their passage by making all those plushies.
This is what the people
That's why it
want.
was so good. Practiced.
This is what the people want. They want plushies of your cute things, even if they're dangerous and drink bones.
Especially if they're dangerous. That one's sold out already. I didn't. Damn it. I missed it.
Me too.
So sad.
And yes, watch if you want to see this theory. Father and Dave will be live tomorrow for the deep dive discussion. I guess. Is there what are people like? Anyone have last thoughts or just more other things we haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
Well,
I
the
feel.
episode.
True.
Oh, you go first.
I was going to say that I feel bad that I'm the only one that didn't really like the episode. I feel like me and you, Rachel, liked it the least possibly. But that's
I
why
mean,
it's good to talk about.
it's good to have more than like different opinions and not just.
It's not the best
Mm,
of the season. No.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's the best of the season, but it's like I enjoyed it, and I just think I just really loved the rest of the season.
hmm But when I watch the episode again, like I feel like I'll be looking out for like the things that Joel and
Hmm.
Stan liked about it. So and
Yeah,
Marcella liked
there you
about
go.
it.
You're
So
not the only person who didn't like all
yeah,
of it.
yeah. But I thought it was solid. The chase, the quest continues. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
interesting to see where it ends next week. I mean, I don't know. I feel like somehow they're gonna like leave us on a cliffhanger, and then like we're gonna see it in like 2.5 years in like the Discovery movie or something.
I don't
Um,
think they're doing that because they don't. I think they would only do that if they were for sure getting a Discovery movie.
mm, 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 mm.
I
So,
feel like anyone in this that has a show in the streaming landscape the way it is and knows they're getting a final season is going to wrap it up because they know nothing's guaranteed.
mm, mm,
I'm sure they would.
totally.
Yeah. And Martin Green's just going to get more and more expensive.
Yeah, I
It'd be
think
worth it. They'd pay, but she'll be busy.
I have like her career is really like obviously she's amazing on Discovery. I feel like her career is really gonna like take a big jump after it's like oh she's free to do other things.
And not in
Hopefully
Toronto.
so. I like SMG.
Yeah, she's great. Although my brain still every time someone refers to her as SMG, my brain for a second goes, "Why are we talking about Sarah Michelle Gellar?"
I just think submachine gun. I don't know why.
No, me too. Yeah, I think Submachine Gun too.
What were you gonna say before, Joel?
Uh, well, the episode was dedicated to Alan Red Marcetta, who was a set dresser on all of season 4, who died. and I wonder if that's what Reds, the bar, is named after.
Oh.
But that would have. He would have been called. That would have been before he died. They would have
Yeah.
named the bar that.
It still could have been, though.
Yeah, just because they liked him or something.
Yeah. Also, he was a set dresser. Maybe he was like,
He was a
I have an idea.
There you go.
Apparently, Halo is why you thought of that if you're RC. Wait, are we saying yes, it is to the fact Reds is named after him?
I hadn't seen confirmation yet. I assume we will soon, but
I guess I really enjoyed this episode as a romance girly, if you will. I was like, again, these are cliches, but they're cliches I like to watch, so please continue showing them on my screen. I did the thought, I was like, there might be some cute fan fiction after this episode.
you could fill in all that time.
Yeah. For you know what? For both Book and Michael and for Mullen Locke. So
There you go.
you got options.
Romance
Would
under
you
the
like
green
to-
lights on A.
You want to watch the building of their
Yeah.
romance.
A
See some of their
it's a
adventures.
forbidden love.
Swindling people and like. I wonder how many people they've killed. Do you think it's more than 12?
Maul's probably done a lot, but
Yeah. It's gonna be that one TikTok sign. It was like, he's the greatest guy who's ever lived. What about the people he murdered? What murder?
he didn't mean it.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was fun, and I'm excited to see one, what is in the file, and two, where the adventure leads.
You know, the little puzzle key, I don't know, it just looks so weird. Because isn't it a key that they're putting together?
Well, it looks
it's
like a
gonna-
gear to me. So maybe.
They mentioned kind of more about it when they got the first one, and then I've forgotten since then.
Yeah.
But when they get it all, I don't know, it'll probably be like some kind of algorithm. And you see it just like the genetic code in the original Chase. And then they'll get a video of, so you found our hidden tech. Yeah, I don't
And next week.
Though
it's
I
gonna
do
be
wonder if it's
interesting.
going to be really disappointing because if it's all just how to make everyone in the universe look like you, that's not necessarily great. I mean, you could make your own version of warriors who, even better than the Jem'Hadar, but
I'm guessing it's going to be like, here's how you can fix things that have been destroyed. Hey, look, a bunch of planets that have been destroyed. That's probably not great
they
for the
did hint
environment.
that the dead could come
It's
back.
probably not great for the galactic environment, that whole ecosystems are just gone.
Yeah. That was on Babylon 5 once. They had the key to everlasting life, but then they make sure that no one can get it because humanity wasn't ready.
Isn't that like the Fountain of Youth? I remember there's versions of Fountain of Youth where they're like,
Yeah.
absolutely no one can be able to find this.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the episode. I guess that's my final thought. Everyone want to say bye / where people can find you?
Sure. Well, goodbye, all. Thank you for having me on my first official,
Yay!
Tex-Trek here. I was on Starfleet Boy After Dark. It's bad. Because it's still in that set. It doesn't say Starfleet Sohail After Dark because you got to fix that. Sohail. But, you can find me. I'm at Valis on Twitter, and I am and Valsock on Letterboxd. Though I've mostly been watching Star Trek and old Tex-Trek, so I haven't watched that many movies lately. But I did watch a few Babylon 5 movies. But so yes, goodbye all. Thanks for having me. Braxton, how about you?
Yeah.
Joe, it was so nice to meet you. And
Yeah,
to
on
talk to
screen,
you,
yeah.
Tonight, absolutely.
Out of the chat
absolutely.
into real life.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Oh my God, you
mhm.
exist. I say
know
as I haven't met. I say like I haven't met you in person. Like,
you have
yeah.
supposedly.
But yep, I'm just around Twittering, Xing at Leviathan 026.
Hi, and I'm Dramaturg884 basically everywhere. I'm mostly on Twitter and TikTok, but we'll see which one of those is around in the next couple of weeks.
Fun.
What a great time to like actually finally have a video do well after a while. And I'm like the week of like they might go away. I'm like, nice, cool. Basically Dramaturg884 everywhere, and yeah, this has been really fun. And live long and prosper, everyone.